Hello, Libra. Welcome to your April connection session. I am Princess India if you are new, and if you are family, welcome back, my friend, or whatever. So, anywho, we are going to be looking at the energy between you as well as a person of interest, and then we're going into, a more specific spread where we're going to be looking at how your person thinks as well as feels about you. And all these cards that just came out, child, look. We're just about got 2 extra cards here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull these for your other spread. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop right in. Libra, I hope you've been doing fine. So the card representing you guys for the month of April. Okay, wait, let me move my face. I looked very distressed right there. Okay, there we go. We have the High Priestess in the reverse. That is Pisces energy. So here is the thing, Libra. In the month of April, you guys are not listening to your intuition. So I would say for this to come up, that's something that would behoove you all, either in reference to your personal life or this connection in general, is more or less intuitively there's things that are coming up or things that are potentially trying to be revealed to you. It doesn't necessarily I cannot freaking talk. It does not necessarily mean that it has to be something, horrible, horrific, or negative in nature, but it's just something that you need to be abreast to, so it's kind of like being self-aware, being present, being in the moment, and, just information and intel about the situation that you're in that, would behoove you to know. But I feel that you guys, for whatever reason, I mean, it could be because you have a lot going on that you're, very stressed out, you could be going through something, but it's not really paying attention to your intuition. But I feel in reference to this connection or just in life in general, it would benefit you to do so, because I feel that there's more going on that you may not be aware of. But I have to stress that doesn't necessarily mean a negative thing. It could be that your person of interest is going through something, right? And, it would be beneficial if you were in your typical headspace. You would kind of notice, wow, they're, acting kind of off, something's kind of going on here type of thing. Now, with your person of interest, interesting, they're showing up as the Temperance in the reverse. Wait, let me cover up my face to see if y'all can see it. Okay, or not. Okay, there it is. All right. The Temperance in the reverse. So yeah, that is speaking to emotional instability. So your person going through something. I can literally say that for sure. Your person is going through something. They're not in a good place emotionally. I mean, it could be a myriad of different things that are going on, And like I said, where Libra is, it doesn't, like, you being in a place to where you're not necessarily listening to your intuition. It doesn't have to be because your person is emotionally unstable that you're not listening to your intuition. So it doesn't necessarily have to be because of them. But I feel whatever it is that caused that, it could just be, like I said, you being busy, stressed about money, whatever the case. But it's your person going through something right now and them being not so much in a good place or being unstable emotionally. And I feel it would be beneficial for you to be aware of that. Even if this is something going on in their life, I feel it would be beneficial for Libra to, kind of pick up the vibe and see, or even if you're asking them to do stuff or, like wanting to hang out and they're like, no, and you're like, what the heck's going on here? I feel like if you kind of picked up on these nuanced kind of things going on, you would notice that something is kind of off and it's not just like this person completely flipped on you type of deal. Because I feel how they're behaving would be kind of out of character in a sense, right? Now, with the energy between the two of you, we have the Page of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, legit. Let's see if y'all can see it. Maybe not. Come on, dagnabbit. Anywho, but the Page of Wands in the reverse. So here's the thing. I feel there's a level of stagnation going on between the two of you. So, I mean, it very well could be that maybe you guys once upon a time were communicating every day and it's like communication has slowed up. And how I would see this, like, legit, with intuition being cut out of this, Libra, and knowing Libras, how I would see this kind of playing out if your person's behavior has changed in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Libra would potentially internalize this. It's one or two things. Either Libra is completely oblivious, that any of this is happening, or you'd be internalizing it and kind of blaming yourself and thinking things like maybe they're not interested in me anymore. They don't want to date me anymore. They don't want to be with me anymore, or whatever, because, communication has slowed down or this person has kind of distanced themselves. And I feel if you were in tune with your intuition, and I don't know why, like the high priest in the reverse this whole month has been coming up manifesting like an emotional intelligence nuance kind of thing, like very much a reading between the lines kind of energy, like picking up on social cues, body language type of deal, to where the people that you guys are dealing with, they may not be directly saying something, but if you were in the high priestess upright, you would kind of pick up what's being put down type of deal, but not being connected with that. It's like stuff's kind of going over your head and you're like missing it. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm a firm believer in the fact that people should be direct, but given life circumstances, that's not always an option with people, especially if a person's going through something and they may not, be the type of person who communicates about their problems. But I feel like this would more or less be coming out because it would give you an opportunity to kind of reach out to this person. Like, we're about to get into their cards, but in case, what I'm about to say may potentially be changed by these cards. But I feel a good lesson to be learned from this is it's kind of a way that we can show reciprocity in a sense, like show a person that, we care at the fact that you notice that something was kind of off or what have you, right? Now, getting into your more specific spread, for those of you who are not familiar with how it is that, okay, I was hearing noises and trying to make sure that my kid doesn't walk into the frame again, like he did in Pisces. But to get into our more specific spread, for those of you who aren't familiar with how it is that I do these, first we're looking at their fleeting thoughts in reference to you, then we're looking at their conscious thoughts, then we're looking at their subconscious impressions / projections, and lastly we're looking at their feelings towards you. So the first card out, oh goodness gracious, we have the Three of Swords in the reverse. Interesting. Then we have the Page of Pentacles. Interesting. We have the Page of Pentacles. Then we have the Eight of Chalices in the reverse. Interesting. And then in their conscious thoughts, goodness gracious, we have the Ten of Swords. So here's the thing, and this kind of goes into what it is that I was saying before. Hold on, wait, let me pause. Wait a minute. I don't know what is happening in America. I've had so many, maybe it's just because it's Mercury retrograde. I feel like I've done this in every single reading. If it is not my computer going wonky, it is my kid. And any of you guys who've been watching me all of this time, when have you ever seen my kid like walk into a shot? Like never, right? But I don't know what is going on today. But it's like homeboy is just like, let me just go, walk on through and see what's going on. But anywho, so with your person of interest, this goes into what it is that I was kind of saying before. What they're going through, I don't feel that them being emotionally unstable right now has anything to do with Libra. I don't feel that Libra not being connected to their intuition right now has anything to do with your person of interest. I just feel they're going through something. But how, like the thing I was kind of telling you, where this is an opportunity to where if you picked up on these nuances, it would be like an opportunity to show this person that you care. How I'm seeing this with them is they're thinking worst case scenario in reference to you, So I don't know because if this is something where you guys have been together for some time, it's like they're kind of seeing you in the sense of being unbothered. It's like, I'm going through something right now and Libra doesn't care, right? It's like they're focused on, their happiness, what they want, making sure that they're Gucci. They're not trying to be held down. And I'm seeing that with this Three of Swords in the reverse. With this Page of Pentacles, it's more or less like, oh, wow, since they're being quiet and they're over there doing them, it's like I can go over here and do me, I could go spend time with my friends and go out and enjoy myself, like what have you. And with this Eight of Cups in the reverse, they're seeing this as a rehearsal of bad habits. So here's the thing. There could be something that happened between the two of you, like say some sort of miscommunication or something that happened, in the past or when you guys first met or whatever. Or I don't know, maybe there was like an ex lingering around or something. So with your person of interest, they're kind of going worst case scenario, because I feel from their perspective, of course, when you're going through something, your situation is super, super huge to you because you're going through it, right? And our natural inclination is usually to look at other people and assume, like, how could they not see that something horrible is going on with me, type of deal, And I've said this before. I don't know if it's just like a Venetian kind of thing, because I am a Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus and Libra is also ruled by Venus. And I don't know if that's just something we have going on, but Tauruses, we, have an obliviousness about us. Sometimes we do not read between the lines. Sometimes a Taurus will not pick up what you're putting down. Like if you're not literal and say, hey, I need your help, there's lots of times that a Taurus may not pick up on the nuance. Like if you're trying to say without saying that you need help, I may not pick up on that. And I see that a lot with Libras as well. So whereas your person of interest may be looking at you like, how could you not see that I'm drowning? Libra may be completely oblivious to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm stressed out about life and I'm not necessarily listening to spirit right now. So all the messages that I'm getting or the dreams that I'm having that are saying, check on, your partner, I'm like, wow, that was a crazy dream. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily thinking about it. So I just feel with your person of interest, they're kind of a disaster thinker in a sense. So if there's any type of hiccup or problem that you guys ever had in the history of you knowing each other, it's like they're disaster thinking like that. It's like Libra doesn't care anything about me. They're probably hanging out with their friends and getting drunk and doing all the things. They're probably back with their ex, or they're out meeting a whole bunch of, different people and not caring that I'm over here suffering in silence with my whole life falling apart and emotionally drowning, type of thing. So I don't really feel that has anything to do with you. I just feel that this is how this person thinks. It's like they're always going worst case scenario, right? And so the same when we come into their conscious thoughts towards you with this Ten of Swords, it's like our relationship is over. It's like, we're just done. Because if they really cared about me, they would know. And the fact that they haven't checked on me, like da 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 da, you know what I'm saying? But I feel on the other side of this, like I said, with you guys, you could be potentially seeing it the same way and internalizing it. It's like, how are they not reaching out to me? They used to call me every day. And now it's like, we're not speaking at all. It's like, have they moved on? Are they over me? Are they ghosting me? You know what I'm saying? So what I see with this, it's a bit of a miscommunication. But like I said, Libra, you're the one who's watching me. And I'm talking to you. Your person of interest isn't watching this. I mean, unless somebody's cross watching, but your person of interest isn't watching this. So the only thing I can really speak to is my Libras who are listening. So if you know that you have a whole bunch of stuff going on and you really haven't been tuned into your intuition, or if you're just kind of like, you feel like your person of interest like fell back from you, I feel this is kind of like your sign, because, you could be the bigger person here because you're listening to me, to kind of hit them up and be like, hey, are you okay? Are you still breathing, type of deal? Because like I said, this person is over here literally spiraling, not kidding. Now their subconscious impression, oh my God, we have the Two of Pentacles that's been stalking everyone. We have the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So with this person, I feel they're an avoider by nature. I feel that they have a tendency to disaster think, like I was saying. They have a tendency to disaster think, to overwhelm themselves, to take on a lot more than is necessary for them to take on, and then kind of not necessarily be rescued, but to kind of like gripe and moan about it. So it's kind of like, I've put myself in this situation, but like, why isn't anyone helping me, type of deal, right? Like no one cares. And it's like, dude, no one asked you to take all of that on. But how I feel that they're projecting that on to Libra is like in the context of like selfishness in a sense. Like Libra only has enough time to care about Libra. It's like if everything is fine in your life, then I can deal with you. But when you start having problems, like Libra doesn't have time for that. Now, here's the thing. I feel with this person, I don't think that you would even assume that this person even thinks like that. Maybe some of you might. Like if you've been together with this person for a while and after you kind of have arguments and stuff and you talk about it and they're vocal, they would probably say like, "Oh, I felt like you didn't care about me and you were like whatever." And you're like, "What? Why would you think that? Like why would you think that I would just not care that you were going through something?" So maybe in that case you guys would know. But other than that, I don't feel like this person even hints towards this, because this is where I kind of see it as a self-sabotatory cycle for them. And I mean, it does kind of, and I said this to, well, I almost said this to Pisces, but my son walked into the camera with no shirt on. But I was saying to Pisces, and I was saying I don't mean any offense with this, but I was saying this in the context of I know a lot of people will use mental health diagnoses as an adjective to describe people, and I was saying that I don't agree with that at all, because it's just the whole thing. It makes the whole stigma with mental health more pervasive and all of the things. But then my son walked into the shot, and I don't even think I even finished that statement with them. But it's a similar kind of energy that I'm feeling, to where a person would kind of say in jest describing this person as like, "Oh my gosh, they're so bipolar." You know what I mean? And not saying that that's okay to say that, because I don't believe that it is okay to say that. But when a person is like, kind of emotionally, finicky, and how I would describe it as a person who lacks emotional regulation and is very moody, people will use that term to describe them. It's not good. Don't do that. If you do that, stop doing that. But that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting of how it is you would see this person. It's like very temperamental and easily triggered and things of the sort, but you may not have any idea that they're spiraling like that. You know what I'm saying? So with this person, it's like they're kind of seeing you as like you don't have enough time for anyone but yourself. But that's coming from their own projection of them. It's almost like a codependency, really, of them having a tendency to take too much on and get themselves overwhelmed, and that's a self-sabotatory cycle that they're in. So I put myself in situations where I'm overburdened, but yet I want people to feel sorry for me because I have all of this going on. But it's like, yo, dude, no one told you to take all of this stuff on. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, in the midst of this, Libra is just oblivious. Like I have no idea that this is happening, right? Now, this person's feelings towards you, oh my God. Wait, let me cover her boob. We have the 5 of cuppies. Wait, I'm trying to see if y'all can see it. Okay, I think that's a little better. We have the 5 of cuppies, right? Dude, your person, we gonna pray for them. Sweet Jesus. So with your person, this goes back to what I was saying, kind of like a selfishness kind of vibe, and them grieving the loss of this relationship as if it's over. And I don't feel that it's over at all. I don't even know, Libra. I don't know what your sense of humor is like, but I don't know if any of you guys are watching this. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And like laughing, like, are you serious? I can totally see them doing this. You got to be fucking kidding me. Let me go ahead and like shoot them a text or call them right now. Right. But it's like their feelings towards you more or less is like you moving past this is just like, oh my gosh, like, I was sad, they're not talking to me, but like, since they can't show up the way that I want them to show up, it's like, I'm gonna, move forward. So I don't know, dude, this is like a whole thing. Because if I were to really dig into this card of how I'm seeing it, I feel like I keep dipping into this person's like thought reel in a sense, because I don't know who your ex is, Libra. Like, and this would have to be an ex that this person knows about, to where you've talked to this person about this past person. But I feel that your current person feels some level of insecurity about your past person. And I don't know if it's like their looks, their height, how much money they make, whatever the case. I don't know if you had kids with them or you were married to them. It's some difference between, or maybe, yeah, I could see that. It's some sort of difference, because I feel like this is really triggering this person's insecurity, to be honest with you. It's like there's some sort of difference between you and this person and potentially people you've dated in the past and this person. And this person's perception of themselves is they value themselves as beneath you and people that you dated in the past. So I feel aside from them going through something right now, predating this, there's always been kind of like an insecurity that's been there with this person to where they may make little snide remarks about your past person or whatever, or kind of make jokes about like, oh, where were you? Like, oh, were you with your ex? Type of things like that. So with this Five of Cups, it's like, even if they're going through like an emotional rough time right now, it's still this projection of them being like, oh, they're probably looking at me like a weakling because I'm going through something right now. They're probably thinking, oh, my ex would have never like snot cried over this. You know what I'm saying? And all of this, and this is similar to what I said. Who did I do before, y'all? It was Leo. I'm seeing something similar that I saw with Leo, to where their person's whole engagement with them was an entire projection, like bleeding out from just the subconscious card. And with you guys, it's slightly different. Like they're not seeing you as a total projection. I just feel their own fears and insecurities are what they're projecting onto you. So it's kind of like, and I mean, I don't know, it's a little mirroring going on here because, like I said, with Libra, with you guys not communicating with this person as often, you guys are kind of disaster thinking in a sense, not as bad as this person. You know what I'm saying? Or you're oblivious. But with them, it's like because you're not showing up the way that they're expecting you to show up, it's like they're living out their worst fears in their head. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of this, perceived weakness with them, like, oh, because, I had a whole breakdown in front of Libra, they're going to be like, ew, that's gross, and want to go back with their ex, or, feel like this is completely over because they're going to see me as this weakling type of thing. But I feel the root of this, and this would be like your resonance factor, your confirmation with this, is there's a difference between you and this person. Like how you would know that this is your reading is that with your person of interest, there's some sort of difference. Either you make more money than them, or you have a professional job, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are from two different kind of backgrounds. But the thing is, how they kind of look at you is almost like their perspective is like they're not good enough for you type of thing, you know? So anytime something happens, and that's a very like self-sabotatory type of thing. Like I feel not good enough for you, but I'm also a person who kind of creates my own problems. And because I create my own problems, I'm wanting you to like come and not necessarily rescue me, but be like, oh, poor thing type of deal. But then at the same time, have this feeling of like, I'm not good enough for them type of thing. So like I'm creating the thing that's reinforcing the thing that's making me feel like I'm not good enough for Libra. That's like a whole self-sabotatory cycle type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And like I said to Leo, it's like with stuff like this, because I'm talking to you guys, depending on where it is that you at with this person and how interested you are in them, it's like because you're the one listening to me with your intuition, I feel like it would be important to tap in, especially like how I'm seeing all of this going on, because if this is something like if how this person is something that's not necessarily in your best interest, it would behoove you to be connected to your intuition so that you could, kind of get a heads up on the red flags with this. Because like I say, I never want to be in the position to where I'm telling you guys what you should or should not do, because that is not my job. I'm just telling you what's going on. Y'all make the decisions. But I feel like how I talk about this obliviousness, this could be a whole bunch of epic red flags going on with this person, and you're none the wiser because you're not, connected to your intuition. So this could be things that you need to be worried about and be aware of about this person, but not being connected to your intuition means you're overlooking all of this and then looking at yourself like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong type of deal. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel another differentiating thing, like from Libra to this person may be different than your usual type in their presentation, but internally, they may not be very different than people you've dealt with before. And how it is that I've described this person, you would know whether or not for that to be true. So if you think about your ex and you think about why it is you're not with your ex, and you hear how I'm describing this person, you would like your intuition would be the thing that would connect that, right? It's like, yeah, maybe this person is, I don't know, like a garbage man and your ex was an attorney, right? So you got a blue collar dude and you went from a white collar dude, and you've always dated white collar dudes and you realize white collar dudes is not where it's at. Let me get a blue collar man, right? So you get a guy who's blue collar. So he's different than what you usually dated. However, the way that he's behaving is very much like every other white collar person that you've dated, which means that you're dating the same person in a different body, right? And that is a connection that your intuition would make of like, wait a minute, this feels familiar. This is like how such and such behave. Like, hold up, wait a minute, red flag type of deal. So I feel that's what's kind of going on here. So the deciding factor of how it is that you would move forward with this or not, or navigate this situation, has a lot to do with Libra connecting the dots. And I don't feel like you're doing that. And I feel like that would behoove you to do so, Libra. I hope and pray that that made sense. But that has been your connection session for April. Most certainly let me know what you guys think in the comments and how this applies to you, my friend, because I'm always reading those comments. I like to see how, these energy signatures I see are playing out in real life, But anywho, I love your freaking face, Libra, and I will see you guys sooner than later.